Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Zero Hours with me, Mikey Brown, at your service. Lower level of the TZH podcasting compound this evening. It's Friday, August 16th, 2024. This is my second podcast. I try to split them up and not have a 4-hour debacle or 3-hour, whatever. So this one I'm going to start out cohort, as you know, Jippy May. We always do that too. I'm going to start out with the election. Just stuff about the election. Starting with President Trump in Montana. He did, he had the little scare with his plane, but he did make it to Bozeman, Montana, and this was part of his speech. And I agree. And being a MAGA, being a far right conservative, that was coming. Definitely, I'm going to have my opinions, but he calls them Comrade Walz and Comrade Harris. He said if they win in November, the people cheering will be the pink-haired Marxist, very true, the looters, the perverts, the flag burners, fucking A. Everything he's saying is true. Hamas supporters, the drug dealers, gun grabbers, human traffickers, all that stuff is going to be a reality if we don't win the election in November. I truly believe that. He says it, and maybe it's a little over dramatic. No, it's not. It's the cold hard truth. These Marxist brainwashed idiots that they prefer to hate one person than to save their country. It's pretty disturbing, really. I mean, it really is. I don't want to be UK. I don't want to be fucking France the way they're going now. Sure as hell don't want to be Venezuela, Cuba. I don't want to be any of that. We got to elect Trump. I'm coming right out the gate with it. If we don't elect Trump and we keep him upright, for one, they had another incident with J.D. Vance's plane today. They've tried to shoot him, and then two plane malfunctions out of nowhere. Boeing's, of course. It's scary, man, but our First Amendment right would be gone if we lose. The Second Amendment right, she'll come for your guns. Oh, yeah, cackling camel, she's coming. I call her cackling cockala. That's what I call her. Cackling cockala now. I was like, fuck that bitch. I don't care. I'm sick of being nice and all. Trump's just a better candidate. No, it's because this lady's a fucking crazy woman. She wants to give amnesty. Amnesty for millions of illegals that they conveniently let into the country for 3.5 years as she was vice president, sitting there doing nothing. Doing nothing. I mean, we get this. There's many reasons why I want Trump. But a lot of people just don't. I don't think they get how fucking severe of a problem this is. How much it's a severe situation we're in, folks. It really is. And I know I should probably wait till late October to make this kind of a video, maybe, but I'm doing it now. They've lied about Russia for years. Trump was a Russian asset. They released this human-engineered pathogen to cause disruption in our election and shut down the fucking world. They did that. They've weaponized the government in every sector they can, and have the balls to campaign on the fact that if Trump wins, he's going to weaponize the government against his political opponent. Exactly what they're doing, they're accusing him of going to do. And she's been a copycat, as we know. Been copying his taxes on tips now. 2 months after he says it, she says it. And it's funny because when Trump said that, every analyst in this country bashed him to fucking death. It doesn't make sense. It's not good. It's not a good move financially, blah, blah, blah. When cackling Kamala, whatever you want to call her. I can't get it right all the time. when Cackle and she just decides it's going to be the same thing, and it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. She's really looking out for us in this country. She's going to be great. And that's the kind of shit. They've literally tried to kill Trump already. I wouldn't be real shocked if it's not another one down the line here. Global war is right down, it's knocking on the fucking door. With all the Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Lebanon, Palestine, Iran, bullshit. Everywhere you turn, there's a war. I liked it when we had no new wars. And, the last president, before this train wreck we got now hit. That's the way I like it. Basically, I'm saying this isn't a game anymore. It's the fucking last stand. We're at the last stand. We're at the final go-round here. We're in the 12th round of the heavyweight fucking title fight here. We got to do something. We better do something before it's too late. We better do enough before it's too late. And some of the people that are going on to vote for Kamala Harris, it's really surprising. Jesse Ventura this week said he's going for Kamala. It's time for a woman president, he said. Men have screwed it up enough. I haven't done this in a while, but it's a fuck off. Fuck off, Jesse Ventura. I think you might have hit dementia stage, dude. Gives a fuck about a woman or what color they are, nothing else. Who's best for the country? And it's fucking DJT. It just is. I mean, come on. I gotta flip my notes here. Oh, yeah. That's the tips and hospitality. She calls it hospitality or whatever the hell she called it. Stole that directly from Trump's campaign. They got this little chant they're doing now for Kamala. We're not going back. They like to say that. They got the stupid song they sing and everything. We're not going back. Going back to what? What are you going back to? If Trump wins, what are you going back to? A fucking secure border? To no new wars? Affordability? Productivity? Lower unemployment? National security? World peace? What, all that shit's on your no list? As a libtard? You don't want any of that? That's what you don't want to go back to? Because you want to head forward with Marxism, communism, socialism? Something for nothing? Until you're told what you're going to do, told what you're going to eat, told what time you're going to go out of the house? You want your whole life controlled and routine for you? That's what the fuck you want to go forward to, but you don't want to go back to any of the stuff I just mentioned. You don't want to go back to any of that. There was even this one moron. He was a Republican. Yeah, he's a registered Republican who's voting for Harris. Had the balls on national TV to say he just thinks she's uber intelligent. Who the fuck who are you talking about? You can't be talking about Kamala Harris. She's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, dude. She's a cackling fucking idiot. She does certain things good, but it has nothing to do with being smart. I guarantee that. She must have been super fucking good at that. But Piss Pants had this he come out of hiding this week too. To make his final, I guess, kind of gung-ho for the Democrat Party, his final little stick it to Trump or whatever, stick it to the right, whatever he wants to do. He come out, he said the quiet parts out loud. It's actually surprising from Piss Pants, but he did. He said the goal of the Democratic Party is to defeat Trump. They don't give a fuck about nothing else, dude. They don't care if it wrecks our country. They hate one man more than they love their country. That's the whole thing about it. It's the whole thing. And he said it's not to secure the border. We're not going to worry about lowering costs. We're not going to achieve peace. I mean, that's basically what he says when he said their main goal is to defeat Trump. They're not running on any of the fucking issues. They're running on beating Donald Trump. That's what they do. I just don't get. I don't get how people are so good for this stuff. I mean, they're just so on the Harris machine. Now, it's funny because we talked about Harris and that she stole Trump's no tips on the hospitality workers and servers. They like to hope you forget the service industry. They really, if you're in the service industry, listen to the fuck what I say right here. She wants you to forget, the whole Democrat Party wants you to forget, that Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote for the IRS to go after your tips. She could have blocked it back then and said, no, we don't need to tax their tips. She did not. She voted in favor of having the IRS come for your fucking shit. You guys don't want to remember that, do you? You just don't want to remember anything about it. And I just can't believe it's something. You guys just fucking crazy. But I want to go see if I can find Piss Pants' stuff. Now I got a bunch of stuff that Piss Pants came out in his last little go round here. Now I didn't say his main goal was to defeat Trump. Okay? But then he goes on this fucking absurd rant about the Ku Klux Klan. Okay, he says the members took their hoods off when President Trump was in office because they knew they had an ally in Washington. I mean, does this fucking moron just ever stop lying? I mean, he says the quiet part out loud, but it's usually, and he says the truth when he actually does say the truth, he fucked up. Otherwise, he'd be lying, right? And it seems funny to me. It's an odd statement, very odd statement about the Ku Klux Klan for a guy that gave the eulogy for John Byrd, a leader of the Klan. He gave his eulogy at his funeral. But nobody bats an eye because it's Piss Pants. I mean, Biden, he is fucking terrified of a Trump presidency. He's terrified. He really is. but you can tell by the way he talks. He comes out and says, mark my words, if Trump wins this election, watch what happens. It's going to be a danger because he's a genuine danger to American security. Trump is. Not you idiots that got us in 3 different wars. Not you idiots that let tens of millions of fucking illegals come over here to rape our kids and steal shit and murder people. Now, none of that matters because Trump's a threat he's a threat. This coming from a guy that was on the beach again in Delaware laying like he was already a corpse. Spent 40% of his presidency on vacation. 352 days away from the White House during his administration, while we got the highest inflation in 40 fucking years. Now, did it improve this week? Yes. Yes. It's improved some according to the big dogs, but I don't see it. I'm not seeing it yet, but supposedly it's getting better. Anyway. At least Piss Pants. I say he says the quiet part out loud. Sometimes he has to. He knows he was pushed out, okay? He knows he was pushed out by the top Democrats who did this little coup. They did the whole thing to him. He said, this is what his quote was, but what happened was a number of my Democratic colleagues in the House and the Senate thought I was going to hurt them in the races. That's what he said. So that kind of goes along with what they said and reported that Barack Obama had threatened him with the 25th Amendment. because Barack, he's all about getting Kamala in there so he can have another term because he's had Kamala's approval. And then they went to this little press conference, and she was talking about how great the president was, how great. She's so phony. It's like back in the debate, she called him a racist, and then ran with him and said, "Oh, that was just debate. That was just a debate." And you don't mean everything you say, but they say Obama was deeply involved in all this shit, alleged coup, and he called Biden after the incident in Las Vegas. Now, they said there was a medical thing. Supposedly, there's recordings of it. I've heard a few recordings, but I don't know what the hell was wrong with him, blah, blah, blah. So you got Pelosi was in on this shit, Chuck Schumer, of course, Hakeem Jeffries. They were all in on the little coup. So Piss Pants knew he was getting booted out. And it's funny, though, because Nancy Pelosi said that letter that he wrote to say I'm going to drop out, she said it didn't sound like Joe Biden to her. It really didn't. Well, who wrote it for him then, Nancy? Because you're involved in all this, you probably know, right? But the DNC's coming up. Wouldn't it be funny if Piss Pants said, I ain't going down. Fuck them. I'm old. I don't care. I'm not letting them take me out of this race. Fuck them. Wouldn't that be hilarious? I think it'd be fucking funny as shit if he come and said, I'm not giving up my spot. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving it up. So we shall see, because the bullshit show goes on. It just keeps going. It keeps turning. KJP, who was dancing at the White House yesterday, doing her little juking with some guy up there, like they're having the time of their life as we're rotting in hell out here. But she announced that President Biden, still with Biden in there, now supports eliminating taxes on tips. But on February the 7th of last year, Piss Pants himself announced a plan to crack down on tips by using all those IRS agents. And then that tie-breaking vote was none other than Kamala Harris. It's one of probably the most disingenuous fucking press conferences I ever seen. Even by that terms of that dumbass bitch. It was just, they're not even fucking trying to hide how full of shit they are. They're really not. I can't understand how people are even considering voting for that fucking cuck. I just can't see it. But then again, stranger things have happened, and I'm going to try to go back and find the rest of my goody stuff here I got from the election. We're going to go talk about the VP for a little bit. The VP. Not so much JD this week. But the good old Timmy Walls. Now that guy's a weird motherfucker. He's strange. I don't know what it is about him. He's got unsettling. Something's unsettling to me about this guy. He's just a little too fucking fruity happy, blah, blah, blah. But, back when when he was the governor of Minnesota, this guy fucking screwed the pooch a lot. It would be for anybody else. Maybe Minnesota people are that fucking lame, or they just don't fucking see it through the blinders or whatever. But this guy had a COVID snitch line. So if your neighbors were out doing something they shouldn't do, you call this snitch line, they rat on each other. If I knew my neighbor called me in for something when I was just outside without a mask or something, I'd probably go over and beat the living piss out of whoever that was. None of your fucking business what I'm doing. But no, he was all about it. He was so hardcore on the Wu flu that he abandoned his 87-year-old mother. She was home by herself right after her heart surgery because he couldn't go out. He said, they asked him about, well, we have to. We have to go by the rules of COVID. What a fucking cuck, man. What a fucking cuck. This is the same guy that allowed a bunch of Somalians, of course they love their Somalians, he changed the fucking state flag in Minnesota to resemble Somalia's flag. He allowed them to steal $250 million, these fraudsters, the Somalian fraudsters, $250 million of your taxpayer money, me and your taxpayers' money. Single biggest COVID scam in America is how people describe it. And this guy's at the forefront. It was supposed to feed hungry kids. It was supposed to do all this and that for people, but it vanished. It had this fucking luxury cars, kind of a la Zelensky. Real estate, a la Zelensky and BLM. Extravagant fucking trips, a la Zelensky. You know, it's like the money laundering's going through this way now. 160,000 was wired to China. But Trump's the Chinese guy. Trump's in with China, right? Not the Democrat. Oh, it was $500,000 sent to Kenya for a lavish apartment. Ilhan Omar even took donations for these criminals from them. She took her donations because these people, well, they were running them up, $250 million. The governor didn't give a fuck. He turned a blind eye. Omar getting a little kickback on that. Why wouldn't she? She's a Somalian figurehead. He knew it was a scam. He froze the funds, but they cried racism. The race card comes out real quick. So maybe he was trying to do the right thing, but he caved. He fucking caved. They just let him loot millions of dollars because, you know why? He wanted to keep his political career full steam ahead. Yeah, he wants that limelight. He wants that power. So he just let a bunch of Somalians fuck his state out of millions and millions of dollars. No worries. Yeah, so it's all under his watch, 2020 riots. Now Kamala Harris picked him as the number 2. That's just fucking great. You have 2 Marxist socialists in there. Now, MSNBC, you know how great of a news organization they are. Their little host he got a little pissy the other day. Said it drives him crazy that us on the right, the Republicans, calling out Tim Walz about putting tampons in the men's bathrooms. Oh, tampon Timmy. This was Tim's Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan said putting tampons in the boys' bathroom is big daddy energy. No, it's fucking mental illness. It's when you remember years ago when Alex Jones said they're putting shit in the water to turn the frogs gay, and everybody laughed at how funny that was. Does it seem like a reality now? It sure as fuck does to me. It seems like everybody's gay. To quote the great Kurt Cobain, and all apologies, everyone is gay. But transgender's bullshit. Gay, I don't give a fuck, be gay. Transgenders, fuck that. Fuck that shit. But Vice President Kamala Harris and her number 2 pick, old Timmy Walz, they had a little rally out in Las Vegas the other day. And it had some empty seats, I hate to tell you. People left before it was over in pretty good amounts, so they must not have had a great Vegas connection. But they started their rally out there, and this may be why people left. They were fucking puking in their mouth. An English teacher. Okay, you think, oh, she's openly bragging about bringing the liberal social justice. Oh, our favorite fucking word, social justice. Bringing that to the classroom. She went on to say that I saw education for what it really was, the greatest instrument of social justice in this country. I thought it was math. I thought it was reading, writing, arithmetic. I didn't know anything about social justice, thank God, when I was in school. That shit don't belong anywhere near a school. And this bitch is opening their fucking rally with that. And this shows how fucking... But hundreds of people, left before it was open. And it was already kind of underperforming because, you know, the fucking honeymoon thing's kind of wearing out a little bit. But this Tim Walz, he's got a, quite the stolen valor thing he had. He's got all this shit to deal with. Not that he didn't serve 24 years. I got to say, respectfully, you served 24 years. That's great. Okay. I appreciate your service. I will say that. Anybody does 24 years in a military of any kind has my respect wholeheartedly. Really. I'm not lying. The desertion at the end, yeah, that was pretty much bogus bullshit. That's all they said. That's all J.D. Vance said was you left your guys at the last, in the time of need to be a political guy, to go into politics. I wouldn't say it, stolen valor, maybe not so much, but fuck up, yeah. But don't say you're in, brandishing weapons in a war zone you never read. That is stolen valor. But anyway. So Donald Trump, he kind of exposed old Timmy Walz here. He's saying that he signed a bill that allowed pedophiles to claim human right protections under state law in Minnesota. And now it's become the Democrat thing. Out in Colorado, Scott Bottoms, which is a fucking name for a guy that's, it's just funny to me. I don't know. Confirmed that people are buying 1 to 5-year-olds for sex, and they're always given probation. They should be given a bullet to the fucking head. What are we doing here? Probation? 1 to 5-year-old. Think about that. Their whole life, they might as well have killed them because their whole life's fucked up. That's something rarely people come back from, being molested and shit at that age. Buying and raping little children gets you probation. This fucking law. This Scott Bottoms seems to be on the good side because he goes on to say there are times he's discouraged about his job as a representative and what happens at the Capitol because they sit in committee all day. They talk about somebody, whether or not they buy 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kids. They buy them for sex. We try to get a bill through. Another representative set one through that was going to put these buyers in jail. But they get off on probation. That would be discouraging if you're trying to do the right thing. They said they need to serve at least a minimum of 4 years. I say, fuck that. Why waste money? Why waste time? I mean, yeah, that's a little extreme, I guess. I will say, okay, maybe I'm just talking out of impulse passion here. Some people might be able to be rehabilitated. But what about the poor kids that got put through that? Like I said, their life is fucking hard. That's hard to come back from. So what is the actual best punishment? It sure as fuck ain't probation. I'll tell you that right now. 4 years might be a little low. Well, whatever's going to happen to them in prison, make sure they have to wear a fucking sign or something that say they raped a kid and how old it was. Maybe that'll keep them from wanting to go to prison. I don't know. But Democrats voted 100% on this bill to keep them on, basically to keep them on probation. Because they did not want to put the pedophiles in jail. They just don't. They're on their side. Pedophiles are on the left. That's just how it goes. They don't want them in jail. I mean, unless they can vote from jail. I can't imagine being a prosecutor. I really can't. Or being a representative that tries to pass bills through, or being a prosecutor that their fuckers are going to get off with probation. It would make me fucking sick. It really would. And what can you really do about it? I mean, also during COVID, old Timmy, he sent army tanks through the fucking middle of town, brown shirts through the fucking town, Twin City, to shoot people with paintballs if they were out after curfew. Standing on their front porch, they got shot with paintballs. There's viral videos of it out now. It's fucking evil tyrant, man. And you guys like this motherfucker out there? Do you want him as your vice president? And every fucking body that shot a paintball at somebody on their porch, they need to be fucking handled too. I don't give a fuck. You follow orders to an extent. When you're turning on your own fucking people, nah. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's a dynamic duo. That's Kamala. And Kamala gets butthurt pretty easy, as you can see. Remember when Tulsi Gabbard just annihilated this fucking bitch at the debates in 2020? Well, now all of a sudden, seems funny, ever since she got nominated or not got selected to be the next nominee for president, Tulsi Gabbard is now placed on a domestic terrorist watch list. The day after she said that Kamala Harris would be dangerous as president. A true fucking statement. That she would be dangerous. Now, Tulsi Gabbard, of all people, on a terrorist watch list. But you'll let 1 million terrorists walk through the fucking southern border. 1 million of them. Millions. But you're worried about Tulsi Gabbard because your feelings are hurt. Yeah. And Kamala's so worried about, she's got to look good. She's so good looking. Oh, fucking please help me. But they were in Massachusetts. The Secret Service broke into a salon for her in Massachusetts. They picked a lock. They covered the cameras up with duct tape. And they secured the area. It was during a Kamala Harris fundraiser. They even used the bathroom for 2 hours. So the Secret Service, they can't even stay around Trump. The one had to go, and the other, North Carolina or whatever. There was a Secret Service agent that left her post to go breastfeed her baby. We had all the chaos of, I don't care, most of them were incompetent Secret Service in Bethel, Pennsylvania. But in Massachusetts, oh yeah, for Kamala, yeah, they'll just go fucking break into a place and sit and shoot the shit and use the bathroom for a couple hours. Isn't that great? Isn't that fucking great? How lefties just do whatever they want. And it started back in 2020. Really, I mean, it took off in 2020. And Kamala was right there. Everybody said, you should be working to try to be, well, they said Trump incited the January 6th. He did his little speech right after that and said, you need to go home. We need to do peacefully. While you got Kamala Harris saying about the uprisings of Georgie Boy Floyd of 2020, that they're not going to stop, and they should not stop. Talking about all that shit. So she promoted and encouraged thugs to hate cops and destroy our cities, burn them to the fucking ground. She said, not only should they not stop, they're not going to stop. What a champion. That's who we want for the next president of the United States. And she also pledges, while we're talking about illegals and shit, she wants to release all criminal illegal migrants from detention centers in the United States on day one, if she's installed in the Oval Office. I think she said that way back in 2019 or something to start, but she must have said it again, according to this. Yeah, and the polls, you don't know who to believe. There's so many different polls out there. Some show her Harris is winning. Some show Trump's winning. And Trump's on the issues. He's worried about the issues. He's saying things like we're going to slash electricity costs in 12 to 18 months, we're going to take it in half or almost 75%. He's going to get electricity back under control. Going to make it affordable to live here again. We're going to, promises made, promises kept kind of thing. I gotta hope. Because the fair election is going to be hard to get. We know that the cheating is going to be at an all-time high. They got to keep Kamala close enough to make it look good, so they can't have to steal completely. But I don't know if they're going to. If they do it, we're fucked, and if they don't, paper ballots, you got to have people to vote them that have some fucking morals to them. But even it should be like front page news that isn't. If we go back to 2020, just to make people aware, keep punching it in there that, hey, remember 2020, these fuckers cheated in several states. Because they had a voting machine company that flipped votes in Pennsylvania. It got admitted someone programmed the election. Then Georgia, we heard all about that last week when I talked about all the 100,000 votes or whatever, and he only needed 12,000 to win that state. It was like 40 or 50,000 shown to be fraudulent. What do? I mean, what more can you do besides prove that the fuck shit's rigged and it's fucking being taken over? I mean, what else do you do? Now, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, we're going to be fucked. They're going to worry more about diversity, inclusion, social justice. It's just the way it is. And they're gonna definitely not improve our country because of what they think. You know, we just had the 2.9 billion people. They say hackers might have stolen our social security number of everybody, every American. What the fuck? So we could be getting hacked here by multiple people. And they could do it at certain times where we think we're in the clear and they fucking hit us with it. That's the kind of security we got under this administration. But they want another 4 years of it. So the liberals got a problem here. See, they think that the conservatives are violent because we own guns, right? We're 2A people, we own the guns, they think we're violent. But when was the last time that you saw a group of conservatives block a fucking freeway? When did you see us turn over cop cars, smash them in, burn them up, riot, loot, Molotov cocktails, burn buildings to the fucking ground, burn cities to the fucking ground? When was the last time that you saw a conservative group do that? They talk about J6. Oh, but you did J6. Fuck you. If we would have had guns ablazing in there, I would have said, yeah, you're right. We did try to overthrow the government. There was no guns blazing. There was no fucking guns blazing in that bitch. Fuck coward bird shot Ashley Babbitt. That's the only shot you heard. That piece of shit still is acted. They treat him like a fucking hero. He's a fucking murderer that should be done. They're more worried about dumb shit and the wokeness. It's like I say, we're mega woke, but we have MAGA hope, and that's where we're at. Mega woke, MAGA hope. We have to hope we win, because we'll have more dumb shit like this. This is a major airline in this country, Delta Airlines, chief diversity officer. Fuck, why do we even have it? They're looking at stuff like, they're worried about gate announcements. That's the kind of shit they're worried about on the left. Fucking being, called certain things, or got to be doing this, you got to be doing that. You can't hurt my feelings. You can't. I should get whatever the fuck I want, though. It's always one-sided. The left gets it all. The right pays for it. That's kind of how the whole fucking thing works. But this chick said, she said, now we say, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And they're thinking, we've asked ourselves, is that as gender inclusive as we want to be? Oh, shut the fuck up. Get over the wokeness, man. This fucking, the frog water or whatever, the fucking made people gay, made them fucking dumb, pussy fucking idiots is what it made them. We got, this is a big one here. And we're not making this shit. We're not making this shit up. I'm not making this up. The University of Nebraska, they had a big study, okay, how the world on carbon is, and the Bill Gates and all them said, cow farts kill us. Cow farts are killing us. We got to get rid of the cows. We got to quit eating red meat. We got to eat my 3D meat. We got to eat generated meat. But here, the University of Nebraska did a thing. They said the way to save the world on carbon is to raise more cows. Okay, because cows, I didn't know this, are carbon negative. I didn't know that. They produce more oxygen and put off methane and carbon. And basically it's saying eat more cheeseburgers, eat more fucking steaks, folks. Eat more beef to save the world. And that's the opposite of what we've been told for however long. But you think about it, the government. Think about the government, how they fucking lie. The 4 basic food groups, all this bullshit, all these years. Don't eat too much salt. Now all these people coming out of the woodwork and saying, you got to have salt more than anything. It replaces all this nutrients in your body. They said don't eat red meat. Now they're saying the carnivore diet is like the thing to fucking do. And people on the carnivore diet are saying, I feel better than I have in years and years. We've been lied to our whole lives. They wanted to put Fruity Pebbles in the fucking food groups at one time. Junk shit like that. And maybe it's because I'm getting a little more into health here. I'm getting older. I'm trying to feel better. I'm trying to lose some weight, blah, blah, blah. I investigated more, and a lot of stuff they did was bullshit. And cows farting is definitely bullshit. They don't want us to eat meat for whatever reason because they want to control the industries. They want to control it all. But this was University of Nebraska-Lincoln report that beef production can be climate neutral or even better, depending on how you manage it, depending on how you manage growing the fucking cattle and stuff. They suggest that cattle's carbon footprints can be reduced by, grass feeding your cattle. Doing that. More fats, though. More fats produce methane and greenhouse gases, which is ended up good. Rather than eating grain and less forage, instead of eating grass all the time, they want fat supplements to help these cows. So it's like everything we've been told is a fucking lie about beef being this horrible thing. Gas, all these cows that have been murdered because they're farting and using gas. Buying local again. I've said this a million times. Buy local. Buy as much as you can. Fucking eat the meat. Fuck these people. I mean, government's such a lie. Look at the whole. And I don't want to get banned, but the lie, I think, it's my personal opinion, that we were perpetrated on with the COVID deal. Because this Dr. Death, he has COVID again. He just for his third fucking time. And this is a guy who's been vaccinated and boosted 6 fucking times. You gonna tell me that shit remotely worked? Are you gonna? How can he be broadcasting that when he? So basically, here's what it is. I don't think they introduced the vaccines for COVID. I really don't. I really don't think that was the whole purpose. I think the whole disease itself was an excuse to use the little mRNA jabbers because they want to depopulate. They want people's immune to be bad. They want people to be more freeing, I guess, with their sexuality and all that good shit. I mean, if you understand that it's reversed, it was one was made for the other, not the other way around, you kind of understand the whole pandemic. You really do. And know that whatever side you're on, you took it or you didn't take it, well, I wish you luck. I mean, I hope that all is well. I don't wish death on most people. But it's interesting to think of it in that perspective to me. But, some of the other stuff that the wokeness is getting by with, we're getting angry and angry. You never notice that? And we got reasons because we're all under pressure, right? But just normal fucking tensions are higher. Especially with these religious zealots that I talked about in my last episode. It was like, the religion is the crazy shit, where they go crazy. But this angry and angry by the day, yeah, I do notice that. Well, Prince and the pop star Prince talked about this a ways back. And he was probably getting close to the truth now. Is that why he was... Did he die on his own or was he unalive? We don't... You never know. You could ask that of a lot of people. Joan Rivers, Isaac Cappy. You could ask that of a lot of people. Were they taken out or did they just die? I got my opinions on it. I think I've stressed them enough on here over the years. And you'll have your own opinion on it. But this one was the electromagnetic weapon deal. And we've been seeing these electromagnetic weapons, direct electromagnetic weapons, used a lot more here lately, as in Maui and stuff like that. So there's more aggression, less apathy. It's kind of been proven by these weaponry. I just thought it was interesting that, it's a conspiracy theory. Yes, they say it, but it's funny how conspiracy theories are becoming not theories at all. And that's why I say you'll need, a lot of people don't like conspiracy theorists, but you're going to need a fucker like me. You're going to need a fucking people like Fred X that will tell you bluntly the truth of what we think is the truth. And I can't remember one that I've been solely wrong on. I really can't. I'm just saying, from my own, I still call myself undefeated. I can't think of one that I went to bat for as a conspiracy theory that did not come fucking true. I cannot think of one. But, with the way they're letting all the migrants and shit in to run, and they're taking over certain spots in the country now. I talked about this a little bit in the last episode too, but this was some stuff that I thought belongs at the election, because the election's going to have to, if we don't win, we're going to be stuck. We're going to be fucked. Then, Venezuela, they got a lot of people here. And I saw Fred X sent me something. It was 300,000 of these motherfuckers at the border of Eagles Pass yesterday or the day before, getting waved in by the Border Patrol, because they don't even, it's like the Capitol Police of J6 all over again. Here you go, ole. Come on in. Because what can they really do? What can they really do at the Border Patrol? They can't just pick them off with guns like they should have been allowed to 3.5 years ago. But of course and this is where I really get pissed, because they always say that's the Republicans. Republicans blocked that bill that Piss Pants wanted to put out his first week in office, blah, blah, blah. It's because you were going to give $20 million to the fucking border and $80 million to the fucking Ukraine. $80 billion to the Ukraine and $20 million for the fucking border. Why the fuck would anybody sign a bill like that? That did nothing. $20 million? That would have been gone in a week. We spend billions of dollars a fucking day on these motherfuckers now. So don't give me the bullshit about that. You didn't say the rest of the fluff. If that would have been a standalone border bill for, say, $20 billion, the Republicans would have signed right up. They would have fucking said, don't even try it. KJP is the biggest piece of shit, because she always brings that shit up. Well, it was your Republican Congress that stopped it. Tell them the whole bill, you fucking cunt. Tell them everything. Don't just fucking say, well, they stopped it. Well, yeah, they stopped it. 20 million versus 80 billion? Are you out of your fucking lesbian fucking dumbass mind? You fucking black cuck fucking idiot? Fuck you. God, she pisses me off. She's so arrogant and smug every time she fucking talks. Especially to any reporter. She's a fucking token DEI hire because she's black and lesbian. Smirky little bitch. And fucking as evil as they come. So fuck you, KJP. Didn't mean to lose my temper, but that bitch really gets under my fucking skin. But then, other than that, 300,000, they're already taking over in fuck Colorado. These Venezuelans. Squatters are wreaking havoc everywhere they go, taking over properties. No help from the police, the FBI. Nothing can be done about it. Because, guess what? Colorado, sanctuary cities. Sanctuary fucking cities. And you can't do nothing to these people. So they're going to take over and they're going to win. They're going to win it all. There was this one here was a Haitian. We got the Haitian invasion from the other fucking side. That they invited, fly them in and everything. They'll just fly them in. They don't give a fuck. They want them extra votes, man. They'll get them somehow they'll be able to vote. This illegal migrant was arrested in March of this year for raping a 15-year-old girl. If I raped a 15-year-old girl in this country, I wouldn't get out. There would be no bond high enough for a white man. Just a normal, straight, white, conservative Christian man that would rape a girl at 15 years old. You wouldn't get a bond. You wouldn't get a bail. If it would, it'd be millions of dollars. This motherfucker got released, this illegal piece of shit, released on $500 bail. But it gets worse. That's where I say it gets worse. Because he was flown in from Haiti to the United States by the Biden-Harris administration. Fuck you. You flew them in on purpose to rape fucking 15-year-old girls. That should be on you. That blood is going to be on your fucking head. But no, you don't have a conscience enough to let it be on your head. Because you're two pieces of fucking shit. Both pieces of fucking shit. And then you're going to add Mr. fucking weary query fucking Timmy Walls to your fucking shit. Degenerate, idiot governor of a shithole Democrat state. Then you get, the wokeness continues in like fucking Alabama of all places. Alabama's now allowing mothers to abandon their babies in dump boxes. You can dump your babies in a box. They're allowed to dump their children in a box within 45 days of fucking birth. You take them, you put them in this baby box at these locations. A buzzer goes off. The personnel comes and gets the baby out of the box, takes it. Why do we have a box? You can't own up and fucking show up to a place and say, I'm overwhelmed by this baby. I need to put it up for adoption. No, you gotta leave it in a fucking box. Just like discarding it like fucking trash. I couldn't put a fucking dog or a cat or any animal for that matter in a fucking box and walk away. I would at least want to see somebody, unless, desperation with a injured animal on a weekend with a vet hospital was only on call and they were going to show up there. I'd still probably wait. But do it with a fucking human being, a baby? Ain't no fucking way. I think that's fucking strange. That's kind of the norm now. That kind of weird shit is just okay behavior. Most of them, at least, I guess if you have the baby, that's a plus, because most of them think abortion's nothing. My body, my choice. The men, I'm not going to go down the whole abortion thing. They're fucking idiots. They are. They're fucking idiots. Their arguments always suck. They're just trash. That's the special entitlement of a fucking woman. Think they're the only ones that are involved in the baby making process, I guess. Fucking fools. I know. I'm an asshole. I try not to be an asshole. I don't want to be an asshole. I want to be a good person, but it's hard sometimes to harness it in, because people just they don't get it. We're losing our fucking country and they don't want to get it. They don't care. They don't seem to care. But I'm going to give out, and this was a thing a lot of people saw, so I'm just regurgitating this. I'm not making this up. This was President Trump's 20 core promises to make America great again. I'm just going to rattle them off real quick because that's how I want to end this episode, and I think, okay, it's a good way to do it. Vote for Trump, baby. Number one, you're going to seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. Hell yes, I'm all about that being number one. Carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. Yes, all fucking day. End inflation, make America affordable again. I mean, end inflation, you're probably not going to, but get it down in control? Sure, yeah. Make America dominant, energy-wise, by far. We were there once, we can do it again. I believe that. Stop outsourcing and turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower. I'm all about that. Work and jobs, if you can get these cucks that don't want to work to do it. Large tax cuts for workers. That's a great idea. No tax on tips. Yeah, we've heard that been copied already. Defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, which I've talked about before, and the right to keep and bear arms, the 2A. 2A. Oh, yeah. Try to get peace in Europe. Prevent World War III. Build an Iron Dome missile system, defense system for our entire country. Make them all in America. Okay. Iron Dome failed the other day, but hopefully we can do it better than that. End the weaponization of government against the American people. Thank you. Just do that. Let's fucking do it now. Why are we waiting? I don't see why the left wouldn't have this exact. If she wants to copy shit, copy this, Kamala. Copy it all. The right, a lot of people would vote for you that were not thinking they were on the wall. But if you use Trump's exact plan, I bet, but you wouldn't hold to it. That's the problem. So we got to stop the migrant crime. Hell yes, dude. Demolish the foreign drug cartels. We've been waiting for them to do that. Gang violence, violent offenders, fucking lock them up. Yes, get it. Agree with all of it. Rebuild our cities like Washington, D.C., which is a shithole. Make them safe, clean, beautiful. Yeah. Look at other countries when you watch a TV show or internet. Countries like Russia, they're beautiful. Why can't we have that in the United States? I don't get it. Strengthen and modernize our military. Absolutely, we got to be the most powerful in the world because we get depended on. It's like I said, nobody's coming to save us. We got to save ourselves. Our military's got to be the shit, and it just has to. Keep the dollar as the U.S. currency. We need that very bad. We need it fucking bad to keep that as the world's reserve. That would be great if we could do that. Fight for Social Security and Medicare. Absolutely. No changes to the retirement age. I could go either way. I think it should stay where it's at. It's just my opinion there. Electric vehicle mandates, it's not gonna work like they thought. Sometimes you gotta admit that it didn't work like you thought it was going to. So we cut the federal spending for schools that push critical race theory. I'm okay with that. Now, gender ideology, fucking A, get rid of that shit. Inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children, ban it from the schools. Fucking A. Cut the funding. That's perfect. Keep men out of women's sports. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fuck it. That's common sense. That's common sense. Why aren't we doing that? I just don't. Pro-Hamas radicals and, the ones that made our fucking campuses a shit show all fucking spring. Yeah, deport all them motherfuckers. Any pro-Hamas people, get rid of them. Get fucking rid of them. Secure our elections, including the same day voting, voter ID, the paper ballots, proof of citizenship. That's just, again, all this stuff is common sense. Everybody should want to do it. I can't, but unite our country by bringing it to new and record levels of success. Man, does that sound good? Does that sound good or not? I think it sounds great. I really do. I don't know why more people aren't on fucking board with that, but it is. It is. I couldn't tell you. Bernie Sanders even, when we talk about the left, Bernie Sanders even knows he was fucked twice. So we know the whole, anytime on the left is they're selected, they're put in there for a reason. Bernie knows he was, actually, I thought he was the one we were going to have to deal with twice. I really did. I thought Bernie had a good enough following to where it's going to be like, okay, here we go. We might be in a little trouble, but no. And now we got this Kamala and this fucking joker, this Tim Walz, coach, they call him. He was a 9th grade head coach and an unpaid assistant coach for the fucking high school team. You call him coach. Okay, whatever. Anyway, you know what? We're mega woke in this country. We are mega woke. The only hope we got is MAGA. I'm sorry. People don't want to accept it. You don't want to deal with it. And you say it's never going to happen because we're not going to vote Donald Trump. because you hate the man more than you love your country, that's going to be on you. When it all goes to shit, I don't want to hear it from any of you fucking Democratic cucks out there. Because we tried to tell you, we tried to warn you, we tried to get it straight. I'm not the biggest Don Trump fan in the world, but I know I don't want anything that resembles Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I tell you that. I'm taking Trump Vance all the way to the hill. Am I nervous about the election? Fucking yeah. I will have. Sure, I'll have. When it gets closer to the election, you're going to hear me ramble a lot more about it. So I won't do it today, but yeah, I'm nervous. We got to get over this wokeness, somehow find a way to do what's right for the people in this country and not worry about hurt feelings and fucking whether or not what bathroom you can go in or fucking beat the shit out of a woman in a boxing ring, whatever. We need to do what's right for America, right for everybody that's in it. My kids, my grandkids, even us old guys like me. 10 years from now, I want to be collecting Social Security, not dumpster diving like in Venezuela. So that's it. I got to thank my silent partner, silent co-host, good old Fred Excelsior, for the information he gave me this week. Yeah, watch out for Mpox out there. I got to say that. The new global health emergency. They're trying everything, folks. That bird flu's got to be coming. Bird flu's got to be coming. They had a rise in COVID since the Olympics. Now they got Mpox, made it to out of Africa. It's in other countries now. I heard it's in the United States now, in San Francisco. Got the bird flu creeping in. So they're going to try everything they got. And hopefully maybe Trump and Vance need to not take planes, That shit's a little suspicious. It's also suspicious how they cremated that Thomas Crooks very quickly. Nobody could examine the body or nothing. They got rid of it. That scene, Bethel, Pennsylvania, seems like an inside job to me. It just does. The lackadaisical Secret Service, the kid getting 8 shots off. It sounds like a kid that was promised that he was going to be a hero, immortalized, but he missed for the most part. But yeah, anyway, it's a scary fucking thought that even the insiders and FBI and CIA and all that shit are trying to get rid of the opposition themselves. They're already weaponized and politicized and all that good shit. So anyway, like I said, thanks to Fred X. The 0 Hour 2021 at gmail.com. The 0 Hours vlogs, blogs, and podcast on Facebook. At the 0 Hours 23 on X. Hit me up with any questions, comments, concerns. Throw them down in the comment section. Tell me, send me a hate mail, whatever you got to do. Haven't had any for a while, so maybe it's due. Until next time, folks, always trust and believe in your own convictions. And please, for the love of God, stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on another episode of the 0 Hour. Rest in peace, Chuckles. Peace out.